Tesla actually has resumed production at its Chinese factory at 80% production.
How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel, and in this video we are going to be talking about Tesla stock. We have some great news that we're going to be covering, one of them being that Tesla announcing the 2022 Tesla annual shareholder meeting is going to be taking place in August 4 in Austin. So that is fantastic. We're expecting for this specific date to be announced because we're going to be getting more information about the stock split. So we're going to be covering exactly what to expect during that meeting, and we're also going to be talking about some great news that came out from Shanghai and also other Tesla gigafactories in the US. So make sure you stay tuned. We're also going to go over and look at what to expect for Tesla tomorrow. We have interest rate hikes coming up. We have the FOMC meeting, and we're going to go over what to expect for Tesla stock too. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to cover all this important information coming up. As you can see over here, we have Tesla today that is sitting at $909.25. We're up 0.7% to the upside. So Tesla was relatively flat throughout the day. The same thing goes with the overall stock market. As you can see, Apple only up 0.96%, Google 0.83%, Amazon, Tesla. There's not a lot of big action going on ahead of the FOMC meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. But we saw some bank stocks start to wake up. We have JP Morgan up, Bank of America up. Unfortunately, this sector still is underperforming, even though we are getting rate hikes, and that can definitely benefit the financial stocks. Unfortunately, they are underperforming. The best performing sector by far in 2022 is, of course, the energy sector. So now let's talk about exactly the shareholder meeting. So as you can see, we've been getting multiple headlines. Tesla schedules its annual meeting as stock split approaches. So unfortunately on this article, the date that they mentioned was wrong. As you can see, it says August 2nd. But if you go to Tesla Twitter, they talk about Tesla's 2022 annual shareholder meeting will be on August 4th in Austin, Texas. Thank you for your support of Tesla. So we got the official announcement. And now what to expect during the annual meeting. Shareholders are going to be voting and participating, and we are going to be getting more details about the stock split date and how the stock split is going to be implemented. So in the past, the split was 5-for-1 back in 2020, but we'll get more update on by how much they're going to be deciding to split the stock. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to what they have to say during the shareholder meeting in August 4th. So definitely keep it in your calendar. August 4, 2022. So now let's talk about some great news that is coming out across the board for Tesla. So we talked about in the past that Giga Shanghai is planning to expand. They allocated some funds and they even hired multiple employees. They are trying to potentially double their output in that Gigafactory. So that is going to be pretty massive. So if they are able to do that, they're eventually going to be the world's largest vehicle export hub. So we talked about last year that Tesla allocated millions and millions of dollars over there for the expansion of their production facilities, and they also are planning to hire thousands of employees. And if they're successful, they could be able to produce up to 450,000 additional vehicles every year. So that could be pretty massive for this gigafactory in China. So another important thing that we're going to talk about also is that Q2 delivery numbers are expected to be massive and record breaking, mainly because of Tesla's Fremont factory. They're cranking out cars at 10 to 20% above capacity. So we know we had a hiccup in Shanghai Gigafactory, but as you can see, we have another factory that is cranking up 10 to 20% above capacity, trying to catch up and potentially, not affect the delivery numbers that we're expecting, anticipating for Q2. So another important thing that we talked about a few days ago also is that from Tesla competitors like NIO, Li Auto, XPeng, their delivery numbers dropped significantly, and we are going to be getting more information about their production numbers in May for Tesla. Let's go over a video talking about Tesla's competitors like NIO, Li Auto, and how Tesla could potentially compete, even though we have some lockdowns that affected the production of Giga Shanghai. So, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about Tesla stock, what to expect for tomorrow.
In China, we had XPeng, Li Auto, and NIO all out with their delivery numbers over the weekend. Our Pras Subramanian is covering that for us. So Pras, What do we learn from these automakers and the effect of those COVID-related shutdowns in China?
Hey, Julie, so really not a big surprise here that you'd see these April delivery numbers come down based on the wave of COVID infections that hitting Shanghai and the resulting areas around that in that time period. Both Li and NIO reporting that their deliveries are down around 25% versus a year ago compared to last year. But NIO said that, quote, vehicle production has been recovering gradually. I think that's a big picture is the recovery, right? So according to Chinese officials, Tesla actually has resumed production at its Chinese factory at 80% production because Tesla's part of this first whitelist of companies that they're doing a staggered production ramp up in these companies in that affected area. So they're starting to open those up. And then Musk even tweeted about a week and a half ago that Giga Shanghai was coming back with a vengeance. So I think it's a slow return to normalcy and recovery for these Chinese automakers after a weak April, comparatively speaking, compared to last year.
The word disappointment could be on the docket here with automakers. It's not this week, Praz. It's not just the EV makers. We'll get some auto sales from Ford and General Motors, I believe, this week. And all signs continue to point, a lot of these automakers still have difficulty getting the supply of chips they need to produce enough cars.
Yeah, Saz, we heard them both talk about that on earnings calls last week. But we also heard them both say that, both Ford and GM at least, that they are seeing things get better and they have assumed that production will get better in the second half of the year. So there's hope that that could actually affect their production in the back half. But like you said, Saz, you never know, right? Because just like a year ago, they said the same thing. Oh, the first half of 2022 will be fine. But then more Chinese infections led to chip makers sort of decrease production. That eventually rolled off into our U.S. automakers not being able to make the cars they need to.
Pras, it's not just about Tesla and other automakers that manufacture in China. It's also about everybody else that makes stuff in China, right? We can sort of try to read the tea leaves and see if other things are improving as well. We keep looking for turning points, right? We're looking for turning points in inflation. We're looking for turning points in supply chain. We're looking for turning points in the shutdowns there and what they mean. So I guess we're trying to find any kind of little glimmer of hope on that front.
Yeah, and I'm sort of connecting with this piece that the 80% production resumption at the Tesla Shanghai factory plant is good news, and it shows that the COVID infection rate is coming down. They're starting to open that closed loop where they had factories staying in the factories. Now they're able to actually go home, and we're seeing a resumption of normalcy there. So I think, Julie, we can kind of cling on to that as a positive sign for the component and chip shortages alleviating themselves. Hopefully we'll see a better situation this summer. But like you said, it's so hard to say. We thought we were over this pandemic many, many times, right? And then a different wave happens, and then it sort of spreads across the globe. So in China right now, things appear to be getting better. So hopefully that's good for the automakers as well.
Hopefully so. We shall see. All right. Thanks so much, Pras. Appreciate it.
Now let's talk about Tesla stock and what to expect for tomorrow. So at 2 p.m. tomorrow Central Standard Time, we have the FOMC statement coming out. We're expecting interest rate hikes of 50 basis points. And also at 2:30 p.m., we have Jerome Powell that's going to be holding a press conference. And he could potentially say something about how they're planning to fight inflation in the near future and what are their plans and tactics on how to tackle it. So if they say anything surprising or controversial, the stock market can definitely react significantly. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And if we sell off tomorrow, it's going to be a great opportunity for Tesla, of course, for anybody that wants to buy into Tesla. We have this new news that came out about the shareholder meeting. We know what date that it could potentially take place. We have August 4th. So if we can get any kind of dip, it's going to be a great opportunity for anybody that wants to buy into Tesla stock ahead of that time. So the most important price levels to watch for Tesla is $950 and $850. So we're going to be sitting in between these price point levels. If there's no surprise happens and the overall stock market goes up to the upside, we can see Tesla also participating, and we can potentially see Tesla going over and getting closer to this $1,000 price level that we marked as a support in the past, but right now is acting as a resistance price level. So, and if it goes the other way around, we might see Tesla stock potentially going below $900 to the price point that it went last time, which is $850 right around over here. So that is the expectation for tomorrow. We can expect at least 1 to 2% move on Tesla stock at minimum, in spite of what we're expecting with the FOMC meeting. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the shareholder meeting? If you actually bought Tesla stock on the dips, what are you excited if we can get a dip in the future too to buy Tesla? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments, so make sure you drop it in the comment section below. But of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notification bell, and if you want free stocks too, check out the links in the description box below. But I'll catch you guys on another video. Have a wonderful day.